Okay, enough of these fucking fights. We are moving on to fucking. Thank God. I mean, we love MMA and it's been great, but it's been fucking 2 months.
We love football too.
Yes. We love some fucking football. And all you guys who follow us for MMA, start following us for football too.
Fantasy football. I'm not running it. Kevin's not going to run it. Jimmy's not going to run it. Actually, Jimmy will probably end up running it because none of y'all will run it. But if somebody is interested in running a uncut fantasy football league, and we actually have prizes to give away at the end of the football season this year for the champ, probably maybe like an Uncut Sports Show 2011 fantasy football shirt. Something.
Yeah, we'll have some type of shirt or whatever to give away. We'll probably do the leagues this year. It'll probably be a lot more people in the leagues, so we'll probably have Uncut Sports League, then we end up might having a George League, a Jimmy League, and a Kevin League, or whatever, depending on how many people. We'll just keep opening up leagues, okay? Look at you guys. Char, like, look at all fuck. We're definitely going to do a suicide pool.
For y'all that don't know, that means out of the 32 teams, you got to pick one team. Just one. You can only use them once. And as if they win, you move on. When that team you pick loses, you're out.
Yep. That's it. So we're definitely going to have 2 leagues going on this year. Now, moving on to NFL, everybody knows the lockout is now officially over. Free agent frenzy started on Tuesday. And we are going to go through the main transactions, not any of the other bullshit that no one cares about. And we're going to start with fucking the Panthers signing Charles Johnson, their defensive end, who they definitely needed to lock up.
And they re-signed D'Angelo Williams.
Both to one to a 5-year, and D'Angelo Williams to a 5-year deal, and Charles Williams to a 6-year deal. And that's something that the Panthers did. And they said, their organization said, hey, we're going to take care of the players that we have on our squad already.
Well,
and they
better
fucking
hope Cam Newton pans out, because man,
Cam Newton's not.
Jimmy Clausen was terrible.
Let's face it, Cam Newton will probably be in there by week 8. Well, because they're going to be out of it by week 8.
Well, they're going to be out of it by week 1. So, I mean, they could just go ahead and...
I hope any of you guys aren't Carolina Panthers fans.
I mean, we're just being realistic.
Dude, Charles Johnson,
what do you think Carolina's going to go?
Charles Johnson's a monster. Last year he had 10-plus sacks, and that's without Julius Peppers, and everyone was waiting to see what he would do. Yeah. Julius Peppers rolled out, and that dude stepped up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good for him. Now, on to the Seahawks. Seahawks made 2 moves.
The Seahawks made 2 moves. Now, the first move was when they acquired Tavares Jackson for 2 years. Now, I don't know why they did that. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can tell me why they got Tavares. It's basically said, we're just going to put our franchise on hold until we get... Now, you're talking about the Skins maybe trying to draft Luck. Maybe these guys are trying to do something like that.
Yeah, that's...
Why do you think they did that?
I have no clue. I back up. Because, I mean, they already had Charlie Whitehurst and fucking what's his name? They already had another quarterback out there.
Got by
but Hasselbeck's backup.
Oh.
They... Fuck, what's his name? I can see him.
What?
Seneca Wallace.
Seneca Wallace, yeah.
If he's still there.
Now, with the second transaction that the Seahawks did is actually Sidney Rice followed.
It makes a lot of sense, but Sidney Rice had health issues last year. He didn't stay healthy.
Right.
He had the hip issue that kept him out for the first 10 weeks, 11 weeks.
Yeah, that's...
Now, George and I got another thing about this, and you kind of came to Donovan McNabb's defense. And you made some good points, and I'm like, well, what does that say for Donovan McNabb?
But I also agree with you. I mean, Sidney Rice saw the writing on the wall and be like, look, Tavares is younger, he's quicker, he probably throws some really good passes in practice.
Right.
He's practiced with the guy. They probably have one of these type relationships. Sidney can look at him and be like,
right.
And Tavares knows that he's going to run an 8.
Right.
He's going to run an 8 route right here. That means he's going to be here and I can throw the ball.
Right.
He sat there and saw Donovan McNabb. Y'all bringing Donovan McNabb's crusty ass into Minnesota? Be like,
He's like, fuck this shit. I'm going to run a route right to Seattle.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, what you said makes a great idea.
Yeah.
But I also thought that if Donovan was spent that previous years instead of in Washington and Minnesota, he might have had a little better outlook on his career at this point. But maybe not. I mean, he's obviously in the twilight of his career. He's had better days.
He really is.
Definitely.
And I thought, the best thing Bruce Allen could do, and when I say Bruce Allen, that's the GM for the Washington Redskins, was to go ahead and start to clean house. People are like, what the hell's happening to the Redskins? They finally have a general manager that says, Snyder, sit back, I'm going to do my fucking job, and I'm taking out the trash. Hainsworth was gone, McNabb was gone.
Now he's just got to talk him into selling Six Flags, and y'all guys will be straight.
I know, because that Six Flags is the ghetto-ass theme park that we have right down the street from the state. It's fucking Little Africa up in that motherfucker, okay? And I'm a black man that said that, okay? All right, don't go on the rise because the shit will fly off.
Don't worry,
You'll
I've
be dead in the
never been
motherfucker,
there.
all right?
We stay away.
You will get shanked and robbed and all kinds of other shit.
It's good to know.
Do you want to get back to football? Yes. Just tell them the white people.
Okay, so basically what Kevin was saying is the Redskins got rid of Fat Albert, who, by the way, if anyone's keeping track, didn't show up at practice. And they asked Bill Belichick.
First day of practice.
And they asked Belichick, so is he going to pass his physical? Like, is he in shape? Bill Belichick went and didn't answer. I think your no answer means enough.
Yeah, and Bill Belichick won't put up with that garbage.
No, he'll get cut. I bet Albert Hainsworth doesn't even make it into week 1.
It's just ridiculous.
And let's face it, the Redskins have already taken a chunk of money and paid them all. I mean, the Patriots are like, whatever, we'll give you a 5th and a 6th or whatever they gave up.
And they're not feeling that shit. Now, the Colts
cut Bob Sanders, let Bob Sanders go.
Yep.
Bob Sanders re-signed with the Chargers.
And he signed safety Melvin Bullitt to a 3-year deal, which they
Greatest
needed to
name
do.
in football, by the way. That last name's in the money.
Bullitt is definitely an asset. The big thing that the Colts did is just happened.
5 years, $90
million for Peyton Manning, and that's probably one of the only guys in football that actually deserves every fucking dollar of that contract.
Him and Tom Brady.
And probably Breeze. I mean, those are guys. Those are if you look at quarterbacks
Rivers. People argue with Phillip Rivers.
People argue Phillip Rivers. I would have to say. See, these niggas are John and Art.
I didn't say shit. I've been nothing. I've been nothing but civil and fucking hospitable when it comes to talking about the Redskins.
George has already fucked Jimmy up, and now Jimmy's talking some Redskins shit. I gotta deal with both these motherfuckers shit. And George's dick is so hard that the table almost tilted over because of all of Philadelphia's trans fucking actions. Okay, now you got Jimmy talking John Beck shit.
No, this NFL season, I am not saying anything about the man who plays quarterback in Pittsburgh the entire season. I'm not saying shit about him, not good or bad. I'm not even going to refer to him. I'm going to leave that to you.
Terry Bradshaw?
No, it's your dad, who looks like Terry Bradshaw but fucks like your mom. And on that, I'm going to be nice to you Redskins fans because you know what? Rebuilding sucks.
It does
it's tough. And you Redskins fans have to understand where you're at. You're rebuilding.
We are.
So, I'm not going to be mean. But who the fuck is John Beck?
I really don't know. That's why I got so upset and emotional about it.
Jabbar Gaffney.
Who is
You literally went and got Jabbar Gaffney. Why? Wasn't he already here once?
No, we got. Let me tell you.
Dante, don't be in the middle of the crosswalk while I'm drinking and driving Stalwart.
I'm gonna definitely watch.
Do you know how many people he can hit in DC?
Yeah.
He could get a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Go down to Adams Morgan, man. He could be.
Including both of your moms.
Yeah. Well, my mom would fuck his car.
Yeah. Now they went out and they got whatchamajig too, who used to play with the Seahawks back in the day.
I don't know that guy.
We're trying to think. I can't believe it. I'm a Redskins fan. I can't. The receiver. Fuck it. It'll come back to me later on. That tells you that's not that important.
Obviously, he wasn't that good.
Anyway, let's speak of the good receivers. The Jets locked up Santonio Holmes, which was a big thing. They signed him to a 5-year deal. That was something that they needed to do.
Did they sign Nnamdi? Because I heard they were in the running for Nnamdi. Them in Houston, they were trying to sign.
I'm not going to make it.
Did anyone even notice
football season with this fucking big-headed motherfucker? I'm telling you what. You see how he's fucking working my Nnamdi?
Peter.
I can see George and I'm going to be aggressive.
Anybody see where Vince Young gets signed? Who picked up Vince Young? I know for all you people think that's a terrible idea, but I can tell you right now, there's someone else at this table who agrees with me. That was a good pickup.
That was a good pickup for the Eagles.
Because you know Vic's not going to play all season.
No, he's going to get banged up, and you're going to need.
Did anybody see where Roger Cromartie went? Anybody? Someone?
This is just getting
churches.
Cullen Jenkins. Anyone see where he got picked up? I'm not saying anything racial. I didn't say it. Anyone see where Cullen Jenkins went?
Yeah. The 4 names that George just rattled off are all transactions by the Philadelphia Eagles, which is not typical of that franchise.
They have made some noise this
but
year.
They have said, you know what, this guy, DeMaurice gave us a little bit of leeway and a little bit of playing room, and they're taking advantage of it. And I mean, the Eagles to me have always been a team like as of late, the last 8 and 9 years have been like the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a very good system in place, like the Patriots as well, and Andy Reid always makes shit work. And now you're getting a transaction. If you look at the cornerstone of I was talking to you earlier about it, any team, is you need to have fucking cover corners. You need to have a good defensive end. You need to have a good fucking left tackle to protect your quarterback from the blind side. Mm-hmm. And then you need to have obviously a franchise quarterback.
Well, and
they have all that shit.
I think, and honestly, the Eagles are probably going to unload one of those corners. I have a feeling it's going to be Asante Samuel. Let him go because look, Deshaun Jackson is playing I need a new contract. Just play out your contract. The Eagles will take care of you. They have a good habit of taking care of people who perform. Right. So in my opinion, stop listening to Drew Rosenhaus. Get the camp. Just play out your contract. Bring that shit back up week 8. Talk about it toward the playoffs, but stop missing time. You need to be in camp just as much as anyone else. And
they're not going to play that shit.
No, they won't, because the last Drew Rosenhaus wide receiver who pulled that shit got deactivated, sat fucking home all year, and didn't get fucking paid. Call Terrell Owens and see what the fuck he thinks about the Eagles front office.
I agree.
And I don't think, as explosive as he is, and yes, he single-handedly won a game when the Giants punted that little motherfucker the ball when they shouldn't have last year. If he doesn't show up, oh well.
He's young. He does deserve more money, especially when you look at punters getting signed for $19.5 million in Tampa Bay. We'll get to that later. But
shit, I'm gonna go work on my punting.
I know, you know what I mean. But George has got a good point, and he is going to miss out on being on a good team this year. I mean, all the analysts, and I know we're not considered analysts because we don't know our head from our ass, are saying that they'll probably be in the NFC Championship.
Well, and that bothers me.
That bothers George because he's a Philadelphia fan. No, it falls short, then you're mad.
I don't even watch the games because that's how upset I get because I don't watch them play. I don't because I get, and you're not a true fan. Fuck you. Yes, I am. That's why I can't. I get too worked up.
Like I am with the Lakers.
Yeah. So I'd rather not watch. I'll watch. But here's the thing, dude. We're not even through fucking the first practice yet. So don't call any. No one's a champ. No one's an automatic lock. Because let me tell you, if Vic goes down, Asante blows his Achilles. Guess what? Now, y'all are gonna be lucky to make the playoffs. If Tony Romo gets hurt week 2, are they going to? I mean, you can't tell me who's going to the playoffs right now.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
We're paper champions. Cool, we got a paper Super Bowl. You know what that'll get you? Fucking nothing. It'll get you raped by Jimmy's mom.
I was getting mad airtime.
That's why I carry a
mad airtime. Now, moving on to the Chiefs. They agreed to terms with Steve Bresson on a 5-year deal. That's great.
Now, this next move, Kevin is very high on. He thinks it's a great move. Me personally,
I'm not really high. I just think it's
you thought it was a good move and a chance for this man to resurrect his career. And I immediately came back and said, who's going to give him the ball?
Okay, we're talking the Saints.
Reggie Tush.
Yeah, Reggie Bush basically is in South Beach now, or Miami. They call it South Beach now, but it's really fucking Miami. South Beach is
and supposedly he's not going to party.
Okay. Yeah. All that ass walking around in that city, he's in trouble. And
I'm going to tell you what, if seriously, after this season, if this doesn't work out, just go be a model. Yeah, you're a pretty dude, you got a good-looking body, just go model clothes or something.
And he's all about 5'6".
Yeah.
So he's going to midget clothing?
It's Tom Cruise line.
Yeah, Tom Cruise line.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Bama's not that good at football.
No? The tattoo from Fantasy Island line?
They playing, boss, they playing. Anyway, Miami has holes to fill, and Reggie Bush ain't going to help.
Well, and they got Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. I know those guys are older, but still, where's he going to fit in that
He could be that good back that comes out of the backfield and catches ball.
Dude, this is a 2010 Dave Meggett. That's what he is. He's Dave Meggett with less ability.
Yeah, with less ability.
Now, let's roll on because we got, Arizona. You guys said, you know what? Obviously, you bought him Vince Young, but you had to get rid of Kevin Kolb. You ended up doing that.
Did you see the contract they signed him to?
Yeah, it's fat.
Kevin Kolb signed a $60 million deal.
Yeah.
Kevin Kolb's played, 7 games?
And he's won 3 as a starter. You know? And you look at it, he won 3 as a starter, either 3 or 4 as a starter. He started 7 games. He's won 3 or 4 as a starter in a good system, in a good team. And basically, Vince Young played with a shitty team at the time. You know, their team was struggling. The Titans were struggling as late. And he has a way better record. A lot of people won't look at that because you know why? In the NFL, Vince Young is a fucking headache. That's the only thing you can see. You can't look at his record or his accomplishments because you're like, he's a crybaby, he's a whiner, he's a quitter. He's got all these labels following him. But the bottom line is his on-the-field accomplishments are a little bit better than what Kevin Kolb's are.
And that's everybody at the pro level. We're not talking about in college. Now, this next move to me was very intriguing because there's still a receiver out there who I think will probably end up back in New England. Mm-hmm. And if Randy Moss goes back to New England to join Chad Ochocinco.
And those tight ends they have with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is got to be excited.
They don't even need a running back.
No, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees, and actually now I think you got to say Aaron Rodgers, are 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. They utilize all their weapons. Mm-hmm. If you come onto their squad, they're going to find you. And Chad Ochocinco is a great athlete. He knows how to run routes. He's going to have a good season. You know, he's going to have a productive season, probably a more productive season than he had in Cincinnati.
Well, especially if Randy Moss happens to come back, because he's going to be the number 2 guy. And, you know,
you can't cover all those motherfuckers.
Dude, all right, picture this. Wes Welker in between Randy Moss and Chad Ochocinco.
And the tight ends, Gronkowski and Hernandez, that is a sick passing attack right there.
And look at who's the other little guy, 39, Woodley, what was his name?
Woodland. Woodhead.
Moorhead.
Woodcock. Moorhead. Woodcock, hardcock, Moorhead. Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm going to talk about something that's not on here because the only other thing is Darren Sproles went to Saints. Whoop-de-doo. Darren Sproles is about the size of that water bottle.
That's Reggie Bush.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the owner in Cincinnati basically holding his team hostage and playing hardball? Get this. A couple years ago, Chad Ochocinco said, I want to trade, get me out of here. Mm-hmm. He turned down 2 first-round picks for Chad Johnson.
Yeah, well, at the time. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals are where they're at. Yeah. That's why that organization's in the shitter. Yeah, they've been there for a while, and they're going to continue to be. Look, holding out and fucking missing draft picks and stuff like that can fuck your organization up for years. The team that has that down are the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, when they lost Joe Green, they acquired a tackle.
Who's Joe Green?
This is what I'm getting. Me and Joe Green years ago. Me and Joe Green back in the 70s was an incredible. That's when they won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. Okay, he retired, and immediately Pittsburgh was like, we're going to get a tackle. So they drafted this tackle. Okay, their whole program was getting this new tackle to fill Mean Joe Green's place. Did it, and he went down the first year, and it fucked them up for like 2 or 3 years. So sometimes when you make moves and you do these things, like you get a system in place, like what the Eagles are doing, you're using the draft. Look at the Redskins, getting away from the draft all those years. They're fucking shit.
I think
the
Deion
Oakland
Sanders
Raiders
is still available. I want to sign him. Deion Sanders and Bruce Smith.
Getting all that shit, and the same thing with the Raiders, doing that shit. I mean.
I think this owner's old school and he's loyal. Like he's been loyal to who's their head coach?
Marvin.
He's got to go. Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis is not a head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. Stop trying to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Does the Cincinnati owner wear tracksuits as well?
No, he's not that old. He's not feeble. Okay. He's not sitting there going, Smither.
Who do you think is the best owner in the NFL right now?
Jeffrey Lurie.
Kraft.
I think Kraft is too.
I think you can flip a coin. I don't think I'd be mad of dealing with Jeffrey Lurie or Robert
or even
Kraft.
the Colts.
Yeah,
and or even the Steelers.
Falcons. I think Falcons is not too bad.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a hand, and it's funny because they all seem to be on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. You know who's got the best ownership? The Packers, because the town fucking owns them. That's badass. Yeah. Now,
go ahead.
I'm saying, with the exception of this last thing in Tampa, the football season is upon us.
It's on us. We're fucking going to be going for it, guys. And you know, maybe if the NBA can sit down and learn something from what the NFL did, we'll have an NBA season too.
Oh. You gonna buy yourself a Kobe Bryant Turkish international jersey?
I'll have that shit on, yeah. Still like it, dude.
Can you believe that? These guys are
now, if he stays there, I'll be like, you fucking traitor. Just like Shaq, man. When he rolled out, I'm like, no. Bye-bye.
I mean, what do you...
Gotta wear that fucking...
But does that... are you worried?
No.
No? You think it's just a ploy?
Well, no, it's not a ploy, because all those guys will go play in Turkey and Greece and wherever they play in Europe, but all of them will have contracts. Those teams are like, we just want these big NBA stars or big, NBA stars to come over and play in our market because we're going to make mad money. And every one of their contracts are like, okay, if the NBA season goes into play, you're released. They come right back over.
Yeah, but can you imagine if Kobe goes up to that first layup and comes and lands and blows out his knee?
Yeah. But I mean, that could happen playing here.
Yeah, but at least your money's guaranteed here. Fucking the rupees you're getting paid over there.
There's
probably a line in that contract.
Like Deron Johnson, he's looking at, some of these people are looking at making more than they would be this year in the NBA. That's the thing. They're throwing out some fat contracts.
Such a small percent. People who play in the NBA is a small percentage anyway. Mm-hmm. And then the ones they want are even a smaller percentage of that small percentage. They want like less than 1% of the NBA players.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it was me, I would say I'd look at the first week. I'd say I'm going to fucking sit back. I'm going to make the fucking money, keep myself sharp. Keep my, and make a cool $4 or $5 million, because you sit on your fucking ass for a year.
Yeah, but there's so many college things you can go do. Those college kids today, they're playing all up and down the West Coast in all kinds of different gyms. You don't need to go to Turkey to keep your skills sharp.
But going to college, you don't make $4 million.
But seriously, Kobe Bryant needs $4 million.
No, but Deron Williams might say, hey, you know what? I haven't had those fat contracts for a long time.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking like Kobe Bryant doesn't.
Well, Kobe's a different story. Yeah.
Anyway, Tampa's fucking smoking cocaine. They signed a punter for $19.5 million, and he couldn't punt the ball out of this fucking.
He was like 28th out of 32. I
don't get it.
It's just ridiculous.
That's terrible.
Yeah, who is he fucking? The
Jimmy's
owner's
mom.
daughter?
Could be fucking the owner's daughter. Who's the owner?
I have no clue.
Me either.
Anyway,
and we're out.
That was a highly entertaining show.
Yes.
Hope you guys liked it.
Later.